Namaste listeners, I'm Renu Tyagi and this is first video of class 11th Statistics chapter number 1 and title of the chapter is Introduction. Children, in this video you will learn about the important terms of the chapter. So look at the first term, employee. Employee. Employee means one who get paid for a job or working for another person. Employee means a person who is working for another person and get paid for a job. For example, if a teacher is working in a school, teacher is an employee. Doctor working in a hospital, doctor is an employee. People who are working in office, they all are employee because they are getting paid for their job. Now employer, owner or one who pay another person to do or do some work. Employer means owner. For example, if a person is working in an office, then he is employee. But a person who is running an office is an employer. If you are working in a shop, then a shop owner is an employer and a person who are working in that shop is an employee. So employee means a person who is working for another person and employer means a owner or one who pay another person to do some work. Now next term is ordinary business of life. Children, it's very important term of this chapter, ordinary business of life. It means all the activities which are undertaken by a person to exist. It includes all economic activities of life, and this definition, ordinary business of life, given by Professor Alfred Marshall. This definition of ordinary business of life given by Alfred Marshall and economic involves the study of men engaged in economic activities of various kind. So ordinary business of life means these definitions are given by Alfred Marshall and it means all the activities which are undertaken by a person to exist. It includes all economic activities of life. Now scarcity. Children, scarcity, it means lack of availability, means shortage of a good is scarcity, or you can say that shortage of supply in relation to demand. So scarcity means lack of availability. Next question is, what are different kind of scarcity that you face in your daily life? Identify their causes. So children, scarcity is the root of all economic problem. You know that there is a problem of choice in your life or in everyone's life. So the economic problem, the problem of choice arise because of scarcity, because resources are limited. Had there been no scarcity, there would have been no economic problem. In our daily life, we faces various forms of scarcity, like long queue at railway booking counter. You can see that you have to wait for a booking, railway booking, because there is a scarce tickets, crowded buses and trains, shortage of essential commodities, shortage of movie ticket, shortage of bed in hospital, etc. There are a lot of examples that you can see in your daily life or you face in your daily life. So these are the example of scarcity that you face in your daily life. Now children, next is statistics. What is statistics? Statistics means data. What is statistics? It means data. And children, statistics, we learn statistics in a two sense, singular sense and a plural sense. What we learn statistics into two sense, singular sense and plural sense. Children, singular sense statistics means methods. Methods used in collection, organization, presentation, analysis, and interpretation of data. That is statistics. What is statistics in singular sense? It means methods of collection, organization, presentation, analysis, interpretation of data. And in plural sense, economics means, statistics means aggregate of facts. Clear? Statistics means data And statistics can be defined into two senses, singular sense and plural sense. Singular sense, it means methods of collection, organization. So a presentation, analysis and interpretation of data. Statistics in plural sense, aggregate of facts. Data means numbers. Data are of two types, qualitative and quantitative. Clear? Data may be data are of two types, qualitative and quantitative. Children, qualitative means the attribute. Attribute means the characteristics. They describe attribute of a single person or a group of person which cannot be measured in quantitative terms, such as beauty, intelligence, and so many examples like the height, the beauty, intelligence, honesty, faithfulness. These all are the attributes that cannot be measured in numbers. So these are the qualitative data. Quantitative data means the number. Quantitative data means the number. For example, the height, the weight, price, production, year. These all are quantitative data. Next, children, this is uses of statistics. What are the uses of statistics? Now you can see that statistics is useful for businessmen, because businessmen decide the production of the good on the basis of the collected data of demand. According to the demand, he makes the supply of a production. So useful for businessmen, useful for government policy maker, very important. Statistics were very important for the policy maker, because all the policies are formulated on the basis of the collected data. Government makes the budget on the basis of the collected data. So it is very useful for the government and policymaker, useful for politician, useful for economist, real estate, hospital, the and finance, etc. So statistics is useful for all those, because these all the people make the policies, whether related to the market, related to the uh, country, related to the politics, related to the economics, related to the real estate or hospital. All the policies are made on the basis of the collected data. Now children, the question arises, why we study economics? So reason for study economics are, economics enable us to understand various economic problem of the economy. It helps the people to understand that how they can use scarce resources which have alternate uses to satisfy their unlimited wants. So that this is the basic cause of study of economics, that it enables us to understand various economic problems. Next, it helps the people to understand that how they can use scarce resources which have alternate uses to satisfy their unlimited wants. So, and children, there is one more important term, that is economic activities. What are economic activities? Economic activities which are undertaken for monetary gains. For example, if your father is working in an office, that is economic activity. If teacher is working in a school, economic activity. A doctor is working in a hospital, economic activity. So you can see a lot of example in your daily life where people are engaged various kind of activities to earn their living. So economic activities means which are undertaken for monetary gain, right? And on the other hand, there is another type of activities which are called as non-economic activities. Non-economic activities, children, are undertaken for the affection, love, emotion. Like if your father is giving you a pocket money, so that is non-economic activity, because he loves you, so he is giving you pocket money. If your mother is cooking food for you, it's non-economic activity, because she is cooking for you because she loves you, she cares you. So these are the non-economic activities. So clear, economic activities which are undertaken for monetary gain, and non-economic activities means which are undertaken for love, emotions, care, empathy, etc. So that's all about this video. I hope you understand, you all the terms of the chapter number 1 will be clear to all. So thank you very much for listening, children. Thank you very much. If you like this video, kindly like, share and subscribe my channel, so that You will be known by my new uploads. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Be happy. Be safe.